As a new semester is starting, I receive notification that I will receive new students in my classroom, making me ponder really the effects of change, especially upon these new students. As we look at it, we need to really realize that there is a difference between an intentional change. This is someone who actually makes the decision to change versus the imposed change. And when we're looking at students, we need to look at their age. If they are older, out of high school, generally their change has been an intentional. It's one that they made themselves. If they're younger, it's really been imposed upon them. The choice was made for them. This is where the MBTI really helps, because if you can figure out or you know the MBTI personality of the student, you're able to gauge how their responses are going to be toward change. So if they have a judging preference, they're going to be very reluctant to change, and it's going to be very difficult for them in comparison to a perceiver who really kind of goes with the flow a little bit more. So if it's an intentional change, someone who's actually made the decision themselves, they've had the opportunity to be very consciously involved in this decision. They've used a lot of data and information, and they may have even made some of these choices based on problems. They're looking at opportunities and how to solve problems. Now, when we look at the opposite side for that imposed change for someone, this really is where the change was made for them. The choice was made for them. They may not have ever received any data or information about the change. In many ways, it even seems as if it was just very abrupt or sudden. And that happens because they weren't involved in that change process. They didn't get to make the decision. And this creates a lot of problems for personalities, and especially a judging personality, because it's going to completely upheave entire routines, schedules, procedures. And because they are not involved in that change decision, many times they aren't able to even see the opportunities that are coming to them. So we want to look at some of the things that are questioned during the type of change or during times of change. First of all is loyalty. How loyal is the person going to be to the change? Are they going to be loyal to the family, to the person, to the teacher, to the administration, the organization? And who are they going to be loyal to? Because during change, you're going to find that there tends to be a choice made between those who are positive, they're going to follow the change, and those who are negative. And this is when the individual is stuck in the middle and needs to choose which side. Are they going to be loyal to the person who made the change, or are they going to follow whoever is negatively impacted by the change? They're going to look at the capability, the knowledge base, or the expertise. Do they really have, or does the person who make the change really expert? Do they really understand what's going to be involved? Do they have the tools available? Are they consistent? Do they make change arbitrarily, or do they really have some kind of rule or a guide? What about credibility? Do they have the ability, the knowledge, and the competence to make some good decisions? Are there any kind of hidden agendas back there? What's going on? And then also they want to look at the motivation behind it. Do they have an impact? Does anything they do really make a difference? So we want to remember that these are the questions that individuals are going to approach during times of change. Looking at our attitudes and behaviors, there are several different ways in which people are going to approach the change. And obviously these are going to be more on that negative side of things, because those who are positive generally aren't the ones that we need to worry the most about. So we're going to look at the negative side, the uncertainty. They're kind of wondering what's next. It's like feeling like they're walking on thin ice all the time. Very cautious, what is going to happen? What is it going to mean to me personally? Skepticism. They wonder, has everybody considered what's going on? Is this the best for me? What's happening next? Is this change really going to work? And they're going to be a little suspicious. Wait a minute, what is the real motive? Is there something more? A child, for instance, may be suspicious, wondering if they've made an error. Did they do something wrong? And they might start bargaining in order to get back what they had. For instance, a change in a classroom, they may have figured out or decided on their own that they made a mistake. And so they're going to start bargaining with the adults in order to get back to another grade, to get to another teacher or another group, thinking they may have done something wrong without knowing what the real motives are. Anger. And some of the things are, no one asked me, nobody thought what was going on, nobody cares what I've done, they're messing with me, all kinds of situations like that. So as we approach our new school years, our new semesters, and even changes for anybody in any particular situation, let's look at how we can really help individuals to make these changes and provide them with the information they need.